So today, it's again kind of continuing with the DIY stuff, and I'll get back to the M3 in a little bit here. But I've got a 2013 Fiat 500 Sport. These cars are sold around the world about 2008 to present, and in the United States, North American market, 2012 and up. They have kind of an issue with the outside door handle from time to time, where the front hinge will actually break off, and as you can see, quite a bit of a gap there. That's supposed to stay, and only the back portion is supposed to move. If you take your car to the dealer in North America, they will sell you an entire door handle assembly and replace it. When in reality, all you need is that little hinge on the front, which you can't buy, as far as I know, in the United States at the Mopar parts counter. This is a European part for this car. Here's the part number, 00519645555. This fits, as far as I know, every Fiat 500 two-door that they made. And this part was about $35. Handles around 120 or thereabouts. So substantial cost savings, and you get the benefit of not having to swap over your keyed tumbler and all that for your door locks. So in order to do this, step one is going to be open your door. I know, right? Step two is going to be door panel. There's only a few fasteners on this thing. To start, you're going to take a pick and pry this cover off. Then you're going to take a pick or a screwdriver, find the best spot for you around here to get this cover off of the door handle. After that, you're going to come over to the back side here, and you will see another cover right there, and then another cover up here. Those all contain hardware. I will pull those off and then show you what's underneath everything before I go further. There you see the two 5mm hex underneath that first flap I showed you. There's another underneath here by the door handle. On the back side, we've got a Phillips screw, and lo and behold, another Phillips screw. So take all those out. And then the next step will involve a trim panel popper. Okay, so the two 5mm hex removed, the one 5mm hex out of there, the Phillips out of there, and the Phillips out of there. This is what your hardware pile should look like. The three 5mm are the same size. You may find Loctite on yours. I didn't on mine. Once those are out, either be really careful with a screwdriver or go get yourself a set of trim poppers. These are like less than $10 a set, and they're fantastic. All you got to do is work this between your panel and your door and pry all the way around, starting at the bottom edge and then working up. Don't pry all the way up here because the panel will actually kind of hinge on that, and we lift it up after the panel clips are removed. So you can kind of start near the bottom, work your way up, all the way around that edge, and then once you've got it sort of flapping in the breeze, pause and we'll take the next step. Okay, now that you've got your panel popped, it should look a lot like that. You should have pretty good free range of motion here. The next step, we are going to lift the entire panel up off of the door, but we have to be careful because we have to undo the electronics for this mirror switch, and we actually have to pull the cable for the interior door handle as well. So I'm going to try to do this real time. Apologies if it makes you sick while I'm doing it. So, back here, that's the back side of your door handle right here. What you do is you flip this away, and then it lets you lift the brass piece out. And then step two, actually pull this guy out. I may need a pick for. Yeah, I think I might need to get a pick for this. Oh, never mind. Black plastic tab, you push down on that. Aha, okay. So there's a little plastic tab right here. You push that down. The white part then pops out, and then you can pull this up out of the red twist clip there. It is very important that you rotate that, otherwise you will break it. You will then have to replace it. Woo-hoo. Door panel's not very heavy, but I'm fumbling it. Okay, then moving down to the mirror switch, there's a tab on the back side here. which I'm just going to go ahead and, actually, yeah, backside, I'm going to go ahead and press down on it with my thumb there. Oh my word. There we go. Takes a little effort. It is on this backside right here. Once that's done, your door panel is completely free. Oh my. All right. So there's your door panel. And then you're left with this vapor barrier. And we're gonna have to be a little careful with this because it helps with noise, vibration, and harshness, and we don't want to ruin it. So I'm gonna carefully just start peeling it back to maybe about there, because what we need to get at's in here. So yeah, start peeling that back very carefully. If you need to use a hairdryer or a heat gun, very carefully around the edge to soften the adhesive, that's okay. Once you've got your vapor barrier removed, you should clearly now be able to see this. This is the little 10mm stud that holds the front of your door handle hinge onto the outside door. Go ahead and zip that off, and the old exterior portion should simply fall off of your door at that point. The next step is back on the door jamb side of the door. This T25 Torx needs to be removed. The next step is back inside the door. This closer metal rod you see here, the thicker one, simply pull it out toward you and set it aside. Coming back to the outside of the door, slowly start pulling out on the handle and twisting downward until you've got about that much room to work so you can actually squeeze the tool behind to get that other Torx. This piece is a Torx T15 screw. Just remove that guy and then we'll install the new piece. Here you can see the destroyed old piece with Torx screw on the right, and you can see the new piece with Phillips screw on this side. What we're going to do now is take this piece and the screw, and we're going to screw it back into the outside door handle of the car before we do anything else. This is what you should have once that's all screwed back together. I actually reused the Torx because I think that's a more resilient style screw. But once you've gotten this far, go ahead and flip this back in so we can place it into the door when we're ready. And then to work this back into the door here, simply, well, it's going to take a little bit of fiddling around, but basically you want to push the front part of this nub down while you're pushing it, and then eventually it will wiggle back in and it'll look an awful lot like that. Next you're going to go back in the door, push that metal rod back into the clip that you just saw earlier, and then immediately after doing that, install this Torx T25 here, and then we'll come back and finish this up. So here we are back in the door. That rod we just set on the side. There we go. The door panel kit actually comes with a new one of those plastic pieces up there, but mine is just fine, so I'm not going to mess with it. So that's back in. We're going to go do the T25 on the outside of the door first, and then once that's installed, we're going to come back and install the nut on this piece once again. So I have my Torx T25 reinstalled. Now with my thumb on the fulcrum here, I'm just going to make sure that feels okay. It's clearly doing its job. So next, go back and find that 10mm nut you took off earlier on the inside of the door, and we're going to go ahead and put that back on. Snug is definitely good enough on the inside of this. You do not want to mar the finish of the paint and cause potential rust issues in the future. So there's the stud from our new handle piece. I'll lightly thread this on my hand, and I'm going to go ahead and again, snug is definitely good enough there. So at this point, we should beautiful. Before this was just terrible, now it's as good as new, and that was a $35 fix. And really, we've only been going for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I elected to just pull that out, I'm just gonna put, this is my own car, so I'm gonna go ahead and tape that up when I'm done. But that was a lot easier than trying to get this foam out in one piece, as it turns out, since I'm in such a cold climate right now. It was just not having any of that. So, if you've got that nut back on, and you've got everything sorted out back at the door handle, you should be good to put your vapor barrier back on and put your door panel back on, the reverse of removal. So hopefully that helped you guys out a little bit, and hopefully it saved you a little bit of money as well. I know I just wasn't eager to throw that at the dealer, especially when that part is available overseas and not listed as compatible for the US market car, which this is, and it is compatible. So take care, guys. Thanks for watching.